Good evening, everyone. We'll start shortly. All right, so welcome all in our weekly webinar, Market Masterclass with Religare. So most of you know, for those who are joining us for the first time, in this webinar, we dissect the segment in two parts. First is the quick overview of market for the week, followed by the key section, basically how one should navigate in the next week, especially for the benchmark indices, uh, banking index, followed by sectors, stocks to watch. We'll cover everything in next 20 minutes, followed by the Q&A session. So, इस वेबिनार का आप सभी का पहले तो स्वागत है, और इस वेबिनार का जो मेन पर्पस है कि आप नेक्स्ट वीक के लिए प्रिपेयर हो जाएं। मार्केट में कौन से सेक्टर्स पे फोकस करना है, इंडेक्स में कौन से की लेवल्स होंगे, कहाँ अवॉइड करना है, इन सभी के बारे में विल डिस्कस। सो इनिशियल 20 मिनट्स हमारे उसके लिए होंगे। उसके बाद कोई भी सवाल है आपका, कोई भी सेक्टर से लेकर स्टॉक स्पेसिफिक यूजुअली वी अवॉइड, बट ठीक है, अगर टाइम मिलेगा डेफिनेटली विल एंटरटेन फ्यू क्वेरीज ऑन स्टॉक स्पेसिफिक फ्रंट ऑल्सो, बट लार्जली सेक्टर्स थीम्स इज समथिंग दैट वी वुड be discussing in next 20 minutes. So first, this disclaimer. So see, the idea behind this webinar is not to give you any recommendation, is to in fact share our observation, what we are seeing in the market right now, and basis that you can think of the strategies, positioning, ideas that how you should invest or trade. So basically देखिए, ये जो हम ऑब्जर्वेशन शेयर करने वाले हैं, ये कोई भी ट्रेडिंग और इन्वेस्टमेंट रिकमेंडेशन नहीं है। सो कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन को यूज करने से पहले अपने इन्वेस्टर एडवाइजर से जरूर आप बात कर लें। So this is the snapshot for the week. Last week also it was somewhere similar, means a kind of volatile moves, and then eventually we ended with marginal cuts to flat. So it's a similar kind of a trend that we saw this week to sectorally. Metals, energy could only manage to end in green. Rest of this space, as you can see, it's not a very sharp decline, but yes, marginal cuts in media, FMCG, realty, IT, financials. So it's a kind of like a very muted session on the sectoral front too. Gainers, losers, Hindalco, Grasim, Tata Steel. So two names from the metal basket among the top 5 gainers in the Nifty 50 during the week, followed by Eternal and Titan. And then we have losing side, of course, sharp cut in Indigo, roughly around 10%, followed by Asian Paints, BEL, JSW Steel and HUL. So देखिए, ये पूरे वीक में कैसा रहा मार्केट, उसका एक इंडिकेशन है। तो बेसिकली इंडेक्स तो आपके वॉलेटाइल ट्रेड करके फाइनली आधे % के कट के साथ बंद हो गए, जहां पे कि मेटल्स अपना सेक्टर्स में अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस दिखाई, बाकी सभी ने थोड़ा साइडवेज टू सबड्यूड ही ट्रेड किया। लास्ट वीक आपको याद होगा कि आईटी टॉप परफॉर्मर था, करीब 3.5% के गेन। इस बार वो करीब 1% के कट के साथ बंद हुआ, थोड़ा सा प्रॉफिट टेकिंग देखने को मिली। टॉप 5 गेनर्स, जैसे कि हमने बात की कि 2 नाम फ्रॉम द मेटल स्पेस। एक इंटरेस्टिंगली आपका जेएसडब्ल्यू स्टील यू नो अमंग द लूजर में भी रहा। सो दैट इज आल्सो लाइक वेरी डिफरेंट सिनेरियो, दैट कि आपका सेक्टर पॉजिटिव है और उसमें भी कोई एक ऐसा स्टॉक हो सकता है जो कि टॉप 5 लूजर्स में हो निफ्टी में। तो जेएसडब्ल्यू स्टील एक ऐसा नाम रहा है। इंडिगो हम सब जानते हैं, ड्यू टू नेगेटिव न्यूज रिलेटेड टू द कैंसिलेशन एंड ऑल, जिसकी वजह से स्टॉक को काफी ज्यादा प्रेशर झेलना पड़ा। अब आते हैं मेन बात पे, हाउ वी आर पोजीशन फॉर द नेक्स्ट वीक। सो दिस इज व्हाट वी वर सीइंग लास्ट वीक। वी वर हियर, दिस ग्रीन कैंडल, right? A very decisive, very clean chart till this date. And, we were trading in this rising channel. Everything was very smooth. But come Monday, and we've negated this candle, we breached this trend line, we've slipped below the 20 EMA. So the initial 2-3 sessions were like, completely different to what we were seeing earlier. But last two trading sessions, yes, we saw some respite, but still we have not entered into this zone of rising channel. Though we have reclaimed 20 EMA, which is always we recommend as a critical zone to watch out for, which is currently around 25,950 levels. But to re-enter into this channel and then again inch toward towards the upper band is something that we need to watch out for in the next week. So how we should position. So till last week we had a very clear signals that we have to hold this 25,800 mark. In case if it fails to hold, then 25,650. So this week we have almost tested the lower band around this July month highs, right? It was around 25,650, and 690 was something that we made a low this week. And then we have seen this rebound. So this level 700 will be the critical support to watch out for. But are we going to be outrightly bullish the way we were maintaining the tone till last week? That is not the case now, because since we have breached this channel, right? So now the kind of trend that we were seeing earlier, that has fractured a bit. Means it could be more of consolidation or a very gradual up move. सी एक एग्जाम्पल के लिए कि एक बॉल को हम थ्रो कर रहे हैं हवा में, और वो जब इनिशियल जाती है तो फिर वो अपने स्पीड में फेंकी है तो वो अच्छे से जाएगी, उसके बाद उसका धीरे धीरे करके जो ऊपर जाने का जो स्पीड है और जो डायरेक्शन है वो चेंज हो जाएगी, वो थोड़ी सी नीचे की तरफ होते हुए जाएगी या फिर फाइनली फिर नीचे आएगी. तो सेम मार्केट में भी ऐसा होता है कि जब व्हेन वी सी दैट इट्स गोइंग अप, बट आफ्टर a period after this advance, the moment we see a decline, so it means इसका speed कहीं ना कहीं रुक गया है. Then we should not be outrightly bullish. At the same time, we are not bearish either, because index looks okay to us. I'll share you the reason why we are saying this about the index. Means we are not seeing any major correction. In case, let's say, if we break this 25,700, then 25,400, this 100 days of exponential moving average will continue to be the next major support, right? Upside 26,300, the previous record high, will be the area where we might face resistance next, and then 550. So this is how this week is positioned, but this week is not a very clear outright trend, right? So 25,700 is something that you should be focusing on. If we maintain above this mark, probably we can gradually form a base and inch toward the record highs or maybe higher. If we fail to hold, then 25,400 is something that the market may attempt. As of now, what is the indication? Indications are in the favor of more of consolidation. कहीं नहीं जाएगा बाजार, इंडिकेशन ये इस चीज के ज्यादा है अभी कि अभी नियर टर्म में आपको थोड़ा सा कंसोलिडेशन का ही टोन देखने को मिलेगा. मींस 25,700 और 26,300 के बीच में ही शायद आपको मार्केट ट्रेड करता हुआ नजर आए, राइट? Why I'm saying this कि I'm not worried about major correction in the index is because of banking. Banking, as you can see, this yellow line, irrespective of what happens on the domestic front, global front, we are still maintaining above this mark with a marginal dip every now and then, but positivity बनी हुई है. देखिए, बैंकिंग का सबसे ज्यादा वेटेज है इंडेक्स में, निफ्टी में. बैंकिंग और फाइनेंशियल्स मिला दे तो आप करीब 39% का वेट हो जाता है आपका. तो जब आपका वेट इतना ज्यादा है तो फिर इसमें जब तक करेक्शन नहीं आएगा तब तक मार्केट में करेक्शन कैसे आएगा, राइट? तो अभी कोई ऐसा मेजर साइन नहीं दिख रहा है, बिकॉज प्राइवेट बैंकिंग मेजर्स, लास्ट वीक इफ यू रिमेंबर वी वर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट दैट प्राइवेट बैंकिंग मेजर्स लुक्स कंपैरेटिवली स्ट्रॉन्गर नाउ आफ्टर दिस डिक्लाइन इन द पीएसयू पैक. and that turned out to be true because HDFC, Kotak, Axis, IDFC First Bank, barring ICICI, in fact, majority of the counters, they showed strength, right? PSUs were also not very down and out. It's a kind of like a very mixed trend within the PSU pack. But private banking majors, they are holding strong. So that's the reason why we are still maintaining that we can reach toward this upper trend line, 60,600, 500 zone. And then obviously the next leg of the momentum. So we still maintain that view, right? Downside, earlier we were like, maintaining a very strong stance that 800, 700, but I feel that it should be slightly deeper, means 58, 400, because we are talking about weekly. It's not something that we are talking about on a daily basis. Daily levels could be different. वीकली बेसिस पे आपका 58,400 ये इंपॉर्टेंट रहने वाला है. उससे पहले देखिए 58,800 एक अच्छा बेस है जहां से कि हमने 2-3 बार रिकवरी भी देखी है. बट 58,400 मान के चलिए कि एक अच्छा लेवल है. जब तक ये होल्ड हो रहा है तब तक मार्केट में आपको, बैंकिंग में आपको पॉजिटिविटी देखने को मिलेगी. वहां पे आपको फोकस अभी भी प्राइवेट बैंक्स को ही करना है, राइट? सो बैंकिंग लुक्स पॉजिटिव. इसी के लिए हम निफ्टी में अपना नेगेटिव व्यू नहीं बना रहे हैं अभी, क्योंकि बैंकिंग के अलावा मेटल्स, ऑटो, आईटी, फार्मा, ये सभी ठीक लग रहे हैं अपने को, राइट? सो next move to the stocks now, that since we have a consolidation view in the index with a positive bias, sectors like what we've just discussed, that banking, private banking specifically, metals, auto, pharma and IT, this is something, this 5 sectors, something that you should be focusing on. First name from the banking basket is IDFC First Bank. As you can see that post this consolidation, in fact, we have discussed this earlier also around this area. Now again, a similar kind of like pivot formation after almost 4-5 weeks of consolidation. So probably we can see the next leg of the up move in IDFC First Bank in coming days. तो देखिए, जैसे हमने बात की ना कि 5 सेक्टर जिनको आपको फोकस करना है नेक्स्ट वीक में. पहला हो गया आपका प्राइवेट बैंक्स, दूसरा हो गया आपका मेटल्स, तीसरा हो गया आपका ऑटो, चौथा हो गया आपका फार्मा और पांचवा हो गया आपका आईटी. इसके बियॉन्ड जाना, ज्यादा एग्रेसिव होना थोड़ा सा अभी अवॉइड करना चाहिए. बीच बीच में आपको अपॉर्चुनिटी दूसरे सेक्टर्स में मिल जाएगी, वहां बहुत सिलेक्टिव होने की जरूरत है. बट ये 5 सेक्टर जहां पे कि कंपैरेटिवली अपने को लगता है कि आउट परफॉर्मेंस रहेगी, राइट? तो उस पर आप जरूर फोकस करें. साथ ही साथ another important aspect that I would like to touch upon is the recent correction in some of these EMS names like Keynes, Dixon, and then this sharp slide in the Indigo. So how we should tackle such situation where the stock which was doing fairly well till last day, and suddenly you see a very sharp decline. So see, as and when you see such kind of move, there's no harm taking some losses and exiting those positions at the first instance if you hear something wrong, something negative, instead of adding to your loss making positions when the situation turns completely go out of hand. देखिए, मेरे कहने का मतलब क्या है कि जो कोई भी काउंटर है, इट्स नथिंग टू डू विद दीज रीसेंट नेम जिनके साथ हुआ है अभी, जैसे केन्स हो गया, डिक्सन हो गया, ईएमएस कंपनीज हो गई, इंडिगो हो गया. जब काफी शार्प करेक्शन किसी भी न्यूज की वजह से आए या तेजी आए, बीच में घुसने की कोशिश करना वो काफी लीथल होता है एट टाइम्स, राइट? ये कभी कभार आपको लगता है कि 10% गिर गया है, 15% गिर गया है, लेट्स बाय दिस, कल शायद 3-4% मिल जाएंगे. इस तरीके की स्ट्रैटेजी में, खास तौर से अगर आप डेरिवेटिव में उसको और ट्रेड कर रहे हैं, तो बहुत लीथल हो जाता है. बिकॉज जब न्यूज ड्रिवन होता है तो फिर स्टॉप लॉसेस, सपोर्ट, ये सब चीजें काम नहीं करती हैं. तो नेक्स्ट टाइम जब कभी भी इस तरीके के एडवेंचर करने का दिमाग में आए, तो जरूर ध्यान रखिएगा कि जब कोई न्यूज है, खासतौर से नेगेटिव है और स्टॉक का रिएक्शन है, जब तक वो स्टेबल नहीं हो जाता है, 4-5 दिन तक आपको एक छोटी रेंज में ट्रेड करता हुआ नजर आए, ये नहीं कि आप हर दिन देख रहे हैं 10-15% ऊपर नीचे हो रहा है, वो नहीं। जब उसकी रेंज छोटी हो जाए तब जाके आप उसमें कुछ एंट्री के पॉसिबिलिटीज ढूंढिए, right? So first name IDFC First Bank, wherein we are seeing strength. Next, from the pharma basket, for the obvious reason that we expect this outperformance or at least the steady performance to continue in the pharma space. Lupin, after this consolidation range, we are seeing gradual recovery, though it's not very outrightly very uh, strong move that we are seeing, but yeah, we are okay. Considering the kind of market that we are in, where we are seeing extreme volatility, Lupin is something that you can also keep in your watch list for long positions, wherein we have multiple levels to look at for strength. Lastly, from the metal basket, NMDC. So NMDC, as you can see, there's been almost 1.5 years of consolidation. Finally, we are seeing this. The stock is emerging out of that, you know, upper band of this consolidation range, kind of like a cup and handle pattern, which act as a continuation pattern. So once we cross, let's say 80 plus zone, then probably we are set for the next leg of the up move. So this is something also that you can keep on your radar. तो एनएमडीसी में भी देखिए, जैसे कि हमने मेटल काउंटर्स की बात की कि वहां पॉजिटिविटी दिख रही है, इसमें आप जैसे स्क्रीन पे देख पा रहे हैं कि काफी लंबा टाइम इसने स्पेंड कर दिया कंसोलिडेशन में, और अब इंडिकेशन ऐसे मिल रहे हैं कि यहाँ से एक अच्छा मूव, तेजी का मूव यहाँ से बन सकता है, तो इस पे भी आप फोकस कर सकते हैं फॉर द लॉन्ग ट्रेड alongside the Lupin and IDFC First Bank. So net market में we have slightly cautious yet positive view. 25,700 is the key area to watch out for. Upside 26,300, 550 will be the key levels. Banking, comparatively stronger structure. 58,400 is something that you should be focusing on. 58,400 को आपको ध्यान रखना है, जब तक कि वो होल्ड हो रहा है तब तक सब ठीक है. And stock specific, we've discussed about Lupin, IDFC First Bank, and NMDC. Right? So this is all from the presentation part. So let's do a quick feedback poll and then we can start with the Q&A. So please अपना feedback आप share कर दीजिए, और उसके बाद कोई भी सवाल है, आप Q&A का जो बटन है क्वेश्चन मार्क का, उसको प्रेस करके अपना सवाल लिख कर आप पूछ सकते हैं. जस्ट अपना सवाल पूछिए, मतलब अगर सेक्टर के बारे में है तो उसका नाम लिख दीजिए, और कुछ पर्टिकुलर डिटेल्स चाहिए तो वो भी ऐड कर दीजिए. Those who are done with the feedback, they can start posting their questions so that we can conclude the session on time. All right. So we are almost done. Let's start with Q&A. Okay, so Johan, like at the beginning of the call itself, we've discussed this, that it's not a trading or investment recommendation. So in case if you are associated with us, with Religare, obviously you can get in touch with your respective branch, your relationship manager, your business partner, and they'll help you out with that. But otherwise, completely based on your own, discretionary moves, you can plan your strategy accordingly. So hope it helps. Okay, next we have Himanshu on pharma sector. So yes, Himanshu, like what we've shared during the presentation itself, that out of those 5 sectors, pharma is also one of the key sector to watch out for. Means it's been almost 1 year, in fact more than that, that we were seeing correction in pharma, and eventually we are seeing bit of a buying interest emerging. Some of these stocks like Oro Pharma, Sun Pharma, Natco, Torrent Pharma, Divis, Dr. Lady, they are already doing well, right? So selectively, yes, you can look for long positions in the pharma space. Okay, Bhay Kumar ji, thank you for the feedback. Okay, bye. Right, more of stock specific. Yeah, first we'll answer the sector specific and then we'll come to the stock specific queries if the time permits. So next is Mr. Nilesh Shah on defense sectors. So defense sectors, in fact, of late we were seeing that there were anticipation while uh, we had this visit from Russian president, but it turned out to be more of a non-event for the defense counters. In fact, we have seen a decent correction across the board. In fact, some of the top names like HAL, BEL, they have also experienced a decent decline. Near term looks sideways to negative to me, to be honest. Still, because in the last two trading days of rebound, also there was hardly any major reaction on the positive side in the defense counter. So as of now, the tone looks sideways to negative. If your view is short term, avoid any long position in case if you are stuck, and if you see any recovery or a rebound, you should reduce. Long term, definitely you can stay put. Okay. Next, stock specific. We have so many queries. Okay, so let's answer with first with Adani Wilmer. Tarun Sharma has his question. One of the most underperforming name within the Adani group of stock means it's still quoting around the record lows with hardly any participation. Yes, off late there was an attempt of recovery but couldn't sustain. Uh, this zone 245, 240 is something that the stock has been holding for quite some time. In case if it breaks, let's say 245, then probably we are set for the new record low also. So if the view is short term, you should exit. If the view is long term, still the kind of underperforming the stock is witnessing, you may consider some other FMCG stock to invest in. Sheila Form. Okay, I guess this different symbol. Sheila Form. SFL. Okay. So this is also down and out from 2025 to 580, and still there is no sign of recovery. So volumes are still very high on the downside. So this is not a very good sign here. 525, 530 is something that may act as a support. If you have existing position for the short term, you may exit, considering exiting at current levels, or use any recovery towards 608, 610 also to exit. So hope it answers your query. Next question. Let's move to the next question. Yeah. Okay. Senko Chabildaji has asked this question. So we are seeing bit of pause. It's not a very decisive move yet. Means after this correction, we are seeing consolidation around this area, around 300 mark. In case of rebound, 340, 360 is something that the stock might attempt. So as of now, it's a hold. But consider maintaining stop at 300 in case if it fails to hold this area, then probably we are set for the next leg of down move also. All right. HUL. So FMCG is something that you should avoid as of now. HUL specifically, a strong underperformer in the last two, weeks. We have seen a sharp cut, and still the indications are pointing toward 2160 or maybe 2100 mark. So still we have more downside left in this stock. So avoid any fresh position. If you have any existing trade, 2240 is where we have support. In case if it sees any bounce, 2350, 2380 will be the area of resistance. Okay. Okay, next we have Brahman Pujlaji on PFC and REC. Okay, so why they are not going up when the Nifty is at all-time high? So it's not only PFC or REC, it's in fact a very long list from the energy basket. If you see, in fact, the entire energy basket, not only the financials, NHPC, SJVN, NTPC, Coal India, Tata Power, this entire basket. So that's the reason why we have not mentioned about energy, during the presentation also for long trades. Means for the energy index, though there was marginal recovery, but it was due to the OMC counters, oil marketing companies, wherein we are seeing rebound. Otherwise, the rest of the players, they are sitting on the sidelines. So for a time being now, PFC, REC, short term, they may continue to trade lackluster, but as a disclosure that we have recommended this to our clients from the long term point of view, and we still have a positive view. So we are biased. And if you have a short term view, it may continue to trade lackluster for the time being now. So if the view is short term, you may consider switching to the other spaces. Right. Okay. Star Health. Uh, See, this attempt which we were seeing of late, this has also fizzled out. It's been like a very clear, downtrend which is playing out since the listing, and still there is no sign of decisive reversal yet. So as of now, this zone close to around 430, 440 is something that you may consider as a stop. And in case if it sees any rebound, 550, 560 will be the area of resistance. So I'm not anticipating any major reversal or recovery as of now. All right. So hope it answers your query, Mr. Naveen. Next, Varshaji on Chambal fertilizer. So Chambal fertilizer, yes, sharp decline from 725 to 410. Now we are seeing bit of a stability because this zone close around 400 is where we have major supports. So you may continue to stay put. In case of recovery, 460 to 475 will be the first zone where we have multiple resistances, and then towards 490 area. So as of now, it's a hold. Okay, Abhay Kumar ji has from the IT sector any leading stock which can be tracked for the long term. So within the IT space, HCL Tech, from the large cap IT name. Then we have Persistent Coforge. This is something that you should read more about, for the long term investment. Okay, next we have BEL. So like what we shared about HAL, BEL, if the view is short term, it may continue to trade lackluster, means on the downside, 380 to 370 is what we have support, which is roughly around 20 points down from the current area. And in case if it sees any bounce, 398 to 403, you may write it down somewhere. Until we break, let's say 403, 405 decisively, it's going to be sideways to negative. So if you are not okay with 370 as a stop loss, you may consider taking an exit. Okay. All right. So, okay. Protein. Still, Sandhuji, there is no sign of recovery in terms of the price action post this, the fundamental development that I can't recall the exact reason. There was some, I guess, limitation on some bidding, which resulted in it's not in our active coverage. So that's why I can't recall the exact reason. And still, there's no sign of recovery yet. So, in my opinion, if the view is short term or long term, at least the price is not indicating anything favorable. In case if it manages to cross this 900, 920 zone decisively, then probably we might see some recovery trend. Otherwise, the sideways negative tone might continue. Right. Yeah. So with this, we have answered all the queries largely. In case if we missed any questions, you can get in touch with your branches, your business partner if you are seated with us, or join next week and we'll discuss more. So till then, take care. Thank you everyone for participating. We can end the call here.